The Big Game, which is all I'm legally allowed to call it, brought us some epic trailers, and I'm gonna rank those trailers worst to best. What was your least favorite Big Game movie trailer, and what was your favorite? Let's talk about that in the comments. Welcome to Durbania, I'm Durbin, and this is my ranking of the Big Game 2020 movie trailers worst to best. Now, as I go through and I rank these trailers, I'm just ranking the trailers. This has more to do with what I thought of the trailer and maybe how the trailer hooked me into the movie or shows a little bit more than it did before. So that's kind of what this ranking reflects, not so much my interest level in the film. So let's do that. Let's dive into this and rank these things worst to best, and I'm excited to hear from you what was your favorite Big Game trailer and what was your least favorite. Number 12. The Minions, Rise of Gru. There was nothing about this trailer that grabbed my interest and made me any more interested to see this movie. There was nothing, especially the fact that the audio sounded so canned. I watched it on 3 different YouTube channels, 3, and on all 3 the audio sounded terrible. If you were watching the Big Game live and you actually saw this trailer drop, did the audio sound that bad and that canned to you? Why would you pay that amount of money and have the audio not be perfect? That didn't work for me. So I'm not really that interested even in the trailer dropping Wednesday. So I don't feel like this trailer quite did its job, and I'm wondering why. Why did they drop it with the audio sounding that bad? 11. The Invisible Man. The thing that was good about this trailer is I feel like it gave you kind of the vibe of the movie. For me, that didn't work because I didn't like the real creeper vibe of the movie. Probably, though, the most interesting part of this trailer was the very end where she threw that white paint or whatever and it hit the invisible dude. But the weird texture, that's not skin. That's like a suit, right? So that was probably the most interesting part. Otherwise, number 10, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. I liked the character of SpongeBob. It did a good job with this trailer staying within the character of the show. The fact that you open with Mr. Krabs saying, this is a really expensive spot, and Squidward with his negativity, well, it's just pre-game. Then Mr. Krabs, you got 26 seconds to sell me on this movie. Kind of that self-awareness fits the character of SpongeBob. So that, for me, was probably the best part of this trailer. Also, second best part, well, really the real best part, but we've seen it before, which is why I say second best part. Keanu Reeves as the wise sage. So I thought overall, pretty good trailer, fit the character of SpongeBob. Number 9, No Time to Die. This is one of those where I'm watching and I'm like, I don't know, did you really have to throw this into the Big Game? Because James Bond fans, they're already interested. They're already sold. They're already gonna go see it. I don't feel like this trailer dropped anything spectacularly new or anything like that. So I don't know, was it really worth dropping it in here? Though it was kind of cool, the text, the 25th film will change everything, and then the whisper, this was your choice. So what is that? Yeah, that definitely has me curious, but otherwise I'm just I don't know, what's it like to be a big movie studio just to have money to drop on stuff we've already seen? Number 8, F9, same thing. How much money do you have to drop, number 1, to just premiere the trailer in this huge concert in Miami, and then just drop a 30-second version of that trailer that we've all already seen right now during the Big Game? And so that's what I was kind of wondering when I was watching this. I was like, what's the point of this? But then that music choice, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, was really the perfect choice of music for Fast and Furious 9, because they should be praising God, because they should all be dead through the sheer amount of stuff that they go through in this entire franchise. It's insane what they survive, and it can only be by God that they do survive. I'm serious. I don't believe that Gal Gadot's character's dead. I mean, she only fell out of a moving plane barreling down a runway 50 feet to hard pavement. That's child's play compared to everything else they've been through in these movies. So yeah, they ought to be singing Hallelujah. Number 7, Sonic the Hedgehog. Funny that I thought this was going to be a sports shoe commercial, but I was watching these and on those YouTube channels that mesh all the trailers together, and I was like, did they accidentally throw a sports commercial thing in here? No, it can't be that. This has got to be a movie. And as it goes on, it's oh, okay, it's Sonic. So that setup to being Sonic was pretty funny and pretty smart, I think. But I think what wins me over more so with this trailer is that very end with Jim Carrey where he just sucker punches that dude in the throat.
Left herself open.
I think the thing that has me laughing the most is how much it cracked up my wife. And I love her laugh. So maybe I'm just associating that moment now forever with her laugh. But it just cracked her up, which in turn cracked me up. So really, the winning force for me in Sonic the Hedgehog is Jim Carrey. I'm excited to see him in this movie. And again, like that sucker punch moment at the very end just completely won me over. Number 6, Top Gun Maverick. I watched the first one when I was in college, so I've only seen the movie once, and it really wasn't my cup of tea. It's not something like I feel like I have to see again, though I will watch it again before this one, so who knows? I'm an adult now versus when I was in college, so maybe my opinion will be quite different. Now that I'm reviewing movies now, maybe I'll watch it through a different lens. Who on this green earth knows? But I think of all the Top Gun Maverick trailers I've seen, I like this one the best, and my favorite thing about it was just that rhythmic breathing sound effect. Like, I thought they did a great job with that.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
It just kind of raised the tension of the trailer, got me more interested as they're dropping lines like,
You know what happens to you if you go through with this.
I have everything I need to have you court-martialed and dishonorably discharged.
okay, what is going on? So I am like more hooked and kind of want to see where this is going to go, so good job, trailer. Number 5, Hunters. Now, I had no idea on this green earth what Hunters even was. Never heard of it, never knew it was something coming to Amazon Prime, and all of a sudden here's this trailer amidst the trailers that I'm watching, and I gotta say, it did its job. You got Al Pacino in there. It's got me curious now to watch the pilot. Maybe that'll be all that I watch. I don't know. But the trailer was just weird enough. And then it says based on true events. What? So, okay, just weird enough that now I'm curious. I will probably give the pilot episode a chance. So good job, trailer. Number 4, A Quiet Place 2. Now, this is one of those where I don't know what it's like to be a trailer maker person, because you've got to walk that fine line of showing just enough of the movie to hook people, but you don't want to spoil anything, especially for a film like A Quiet Place Part 2. I am very curious to see this movie, but it's also one of those where I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, was that necessary to drop during the big game? You didn't really add anything or show anything new, but on the other hand, I'm glad they didn't show anything new because, like, I don't want anything about this spoiled. So good job, you kept it in my mind, you reminded me that it's coming, and you didn't spoil anything. So I guess that's where I have to give it to you, A Quiet Place. Number 3, that Disney Plus Marvel shows commercial. It was cool to get our first look at these Marvel shows that are coming up. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, to see Sam out there practicing, Zemo like just standing there calm as gun shells are falling. Like those were pretty cool shots. Loki in that prison uniform that says TVA. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Some other YouTube channels watching said it was the time variance something or other. See, this tells you I don't have a lot of back knowledge about what that is, but knowing it's like some sort of policing for interdimensional time variances and weird activities like that, it's like, yeah, that fits Loki to a T. And he wants to burn the whole place down because, you know, that's the Loki that hasn't grown the way our Loki has, and of course he wants to burn everything down. So I'm curious about all of that, just so those brief shots of everything kind of just piqued my interest. WandaVision, though, was probably the part where I was the most curious, because I have zero interest in WandaVision. I think the concept of living in a 50s sitcom and some other sitcom and doing it this weird sitcom way, I don't like that at all. Why do that? The multiple timeline thing sounds cool, but the weird multiple sitcom timeline thing, that is not what sounds cool to me. And then you see the footage. And while it still didn't win me over to the concept, I think the most striking thing was the Wanda that we know from our timeline appearing in full color in the black and white thing. And it just reminds me of like, okay, what's she doing? Why is she traveling through these timelines? Is she trying to get Vision Stone and bring it back to our timeline to resurrect Vision? Is she going to just try to get a Vision and bring Vision back? No, I think she's probably going for the stone. Or is there some villain behind all of this? And so there's interesting questions raised as you're seeing this footage and you're seeing her kind of travel through, and it's like, okay, there's a reason they're showing this. And then we have Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madness, and you know somehow these things are gonna connect. So I gotta be honest with you, when Guardians of the Galaxy, before that first trailer dropped, I thought that was gonna be dumb as snot. When the first trailer dropped, it won me over, and now it's like my favorite MCU franchise with my favorite characters. So I may not be won over by this concept right now, but it is the MCU, and when I watch it, I could be completely won over. So the footage looked interesting, so good job that without spoiling anything, you got me scratching my head and going, all right, I'm gonna watch. Number 2, Black Widow. This trailer didn't go any deeper or anything like that, but like all the other Black Widow trailers, I love the music choice. I mean, did you hear that? That was just awesome. So I like the music choice they took. The Black Widow trailer is always high energy, and I'm very much so looking forward to it. The trailers have done a good job getting me interested in this solo film and her family outside of the Avengers. Number 1, Mulan. I am as surprised as all of you that this one is my number 1 trailer. Again, it doesn't really entirely reflect my interest in the movie, but this felt like a trailer, like it was long enough to be a real trailer, and it showed us some extra footage, and who cares about spoilers? Probably most of us have seen the animated movie, so we know the story and where the story is going to go. The idea of this is not about spoilers, but it's about drawing us in and what's going to be different about the live action movie. The first trailer showed me that it wasn't going to be shot for shot. This trailer showed me a little bit more about the witch, and I enjoyed that because this witch character turning into, you know, the Hawk, I'm looking at this going, she's the real nemesis. She's the real person trying to take the Emperor's throne, isn't she? The real thing is going to be between Mulan and this witch. So I'm very curious to see this.
Brave. True.
So there it is, my ranking of the trailers that dropped during the big game, worst to best. What was your least favorite trailer from the big game? And what was your favorite trailer? Let's talk about that in the comments below. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified the next time I drop a movie review, ranking video, theological analysis, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin, thanks for checking out Durbania.